You know, a lot of people have to deal with suffering and anguish when they're growing up. And I wouldn't say that I never had to deal with that, but all things considered, I was a pretty happy kid. Um, I played sports, I played music, I read a lot, I drew pictures, and yeah, I was pretty silly as a kid. I remember being in theater camps and stuff and going to music camp. And then when I turned 14, I went to high school. And you know what's coming now, right? Yeah, high school. And suddenly, all of my, blissful little child dreams were gone. And I was stuck in Cleveland, Tennessee, which was pretty deep in the heart of the Bible Belt. And I remember people pointing at me and saying, was that a girl or a boy? And going to class and getting notes from the kids behind me, like, why do you dress like a boy? And, like, why is your hair short? And stuff like that. And, it was never really bad. Like, I never got beaten up or anything like that. And there are a lot of horror stories that are much worse than mine. But it still kind of hurt, And I remember going from somebody who was, really happy to suddenly, I would go home and grab my pillow and sob into it. And for the first time, I was actually contemplating suicide, which was something that I'd never thought about before. And what really got me through all that was my family, because I could always come home and no matter what, name I was going by, or, if I said I wanted to be given male pronouns rather than female, my family, they to this day still don't really get it, but it's, they've never withdrawn their support. So you really have to find people in the world who will just love you. And there are people out there like that. And there are people who don't care whether you're gay or straight or fat or thin, they don't care what you look like. And they'll just love you. And they'll be happy to see you. And they'll smile at you. And when you find those people, because they are out there, you realize that it does get better, even though it really sucks sometimes. And the sucking doesn't always go away, but it becomes less of a focal point in your life once you reach a certain point. So I really do think that if you can just stick it out and get through the times when you feel like you just want to die, that you will eventually find, a place in your life where you're happy, because happiness is something that everybody deserves. And, all this stuff like our bodies and our identities, that's really important and it makes us who we are. But we're all human through all that stuff. And because of that, we're deserving of love no matter what. So it does get better. Stick it through.